Hi, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Brittany, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I just want to talk a little bit about myself and a little bit of the background of my career. I started working in community mental health. I worked with adults and teens that were in transitional housing. They experienced severe mental illnesses, and from there, I worked with families who were at risk of having their children removed from the home due to child abuse, domestic violence, neglect, things of that nature. So I worked very closely with survivors and with the families and with the children. So during that time, I helped many people that were in the middle of their trauma. After that, I went to another program where I worked with a lot of foster youth. And those foster youth had experienced a lot of severe trauma. They were in the foster care system because there was such severe abuse that they were removed from their homes. And after that, I started working in the online mental health field in 2020 when most therapists went online. And ever since then, I haven't turned back. Online therapy has been such an amazing opportunity. I find people get the same experience in online therapy that they do in person. And it's just so much easier to get help and to get services. I really find that less people cancel, don't show up. They're able to come because of the convenience and even the comfort of being able to create any space as your therapy room. So I just want to talk a little bit about my personal background and why I became a therapist. So a little bit about me. I was born into divorce. My parents were divorced before I was born. I then witnessed both of them go through another set of divorces. I was definitely caught in the middle of all of them. One of my parents would be what we call a textbook narcissist. So you can imagine how that was growing up. Another one had anger issues and drinking problems that led to a lot of physical and emotional abuse. And the last one needed a lot of emotional care. So I was a parentified child at a pretty young age. From there, I struggled with my own codependency issues, substance abuse issues, toxic relationships. Having an abusive parent led to me finding other abusive partners. So I went through a lot of my own trauma and emotional pain and unhealthy habits. So I've had to do a lot of my own self-work. I understand how hard it is to do the work, how hard it is to make the changes, but I'm also coming from a place of understanding because I've been there. Lastly, I want to talk a little bit about my approach to therapy. So for clients that have never done therapy, I like to say I kind of have a structured approach. You'll always come in and I'm going to spend the first 2 to 3 sessions just really getting to know you and really getting to understand what the problem is that you're experiencing. And the better I know you, the better I can help you. From there, I like to go into a lot of psychoeducation. I had a master's in psychology, bachelor's in psychology. That's my thing. I like to dive into, not just the behaviors, but the neuroscience behind things, the biology behind things, just really get you to understand why it is you're feeling the way you're feeling. And then we go into coping tools. That's where, everyone talks about self-care. That's really where we kind of fine-tune those self-care tools and those self-care routines. And that's where you're going to start to experience the most relief. From there, we go into thought patterns and learning how to deconstruct a lot of the thought patterns that were created from childhood, from society, from our families, from maybe just our own temperaments. And after that, I like to do a lot of what we call inner child work or trauma work or anything else where we use all those tools that we learned and we really reprocess a lot of the experiences and the tough stuff that you hold on to, kind of getting rid of some of those skeletons in the closet, I like to say. For people that have already done therapy, I like to take it at your pace. I like to, see where you want to go and I let you lead the sessions. You tell me what you need and I will try to be there and be as flexible as possible. I'm also a therapist that appreciates feedback. So if something doesn't feel good, you let me know. I'll let you know the same thing. I'm just a human. Sometimes I like to say sarcastic stuff, use a little dark humor, and sometimes that's not for everyone. So you just let me know. Also, if you come find my page and you're realizing I'm not the therapist for you, still reach out. I have a lot of contacts, a lot of other therapists that I know in my network that I can still refer you to.